Bloody. Vampire teeth won't sink into me. No. Let's leave the listener wanting delicate. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to BandLab Plus Coffee. That's right, it's time to wake up, wind up, and queue up with another excellent track. Today we've got Delicate by LuxxLavish. So, without further ado, to the left! To wake up, wind up, and queue up with another excellent BandLab track. Delicate over here on the lab, we've got LuxxLavishPromotions at LuxxLavishPromotions out of Savannah, Georgia, repping 377 followers at 3 minutes and 51 seconds, 32 plays, and 12 likes, including one of our own. Let's take a listen. Very good punk intro. I hear you. I see you. Blink-182 style. Ooh. Some Skillet vibes. Lyrics? Yeah. Nice falsetto. Good drum change. I like it how we opened it up. Nice echoes. I'm getting the flyleaf vibes too. Man, this is just an amalgamation of awesome stuff. It's just a great rock song. Nice. Let's get it. Good vocal layers. Really good riffing on the guitar as well. I really like the track. Super open, super loud. What is it? Is it Gwen Stefani that does I'm Just a Girl? I'm just a girl. Nice. That was a really cool track. That was rocking for sure. From start to finish, we were going strong. So, Delicate, let's jump into two things I love and one thing I want more of. The first thing I love about this track is just how rocking it is. That instrumental just starts hard and goes hard. This right here, major Adam song vibes, Blink-182, also, What's My Age Again? Took her out, it was a Friday night. We walk along and get the feeling right. Right, no, I mean, you hear me though. And then we move into this more Skillet, Flyleaf vibe. So it's almost like a punk rock into a hard rock. Then we're gonna pull it back here. This is definitely some Skillet Flyleaf chugging. So that's the first thing I love is that instrumental. The way that it does its thing and it moves throughout. Lots of feels from the punk rock / alt rock / hard rock, just kind of all rolled into one love letter to that genre. The second thing I love is the way that we do these vocals here. When we come down to the pre-chorus, which I think is over here. Here we go. Where we open up these drums, the words are sparse, and here we go. Boom! Into the falsetto, which is this great dynamic shift from the verse. So the vocals themselves, not only do we have like a lyrically sparse pre-chorus while the drums are just ramping us up, but then we go from that normal delicate to I. So we go from this contained whisper type thing to this all-in head voice up in the sky. It's this really great shift from pre-chorus to chorus. It's distinct, it's dynamic, and it's fantastic. That is the second thing I love. Now, if there's one thing I want more of, I don't want to hear the word delicate in the pre-chorus at all. That's the one thing I notice here. We can hold back because of the way that this track is arranged and the way that we're doing things. We can hold back on delicate. We don't have to say, "'Cause I'm so delicate," like while we're in the pre-chorus. What if we eliminated that completely? Let's see here. Become so, yeah, I become so. Right? Let's not say delicate in the pre-chorus. Let's leave the listener wanting delicate. Save it for either the second pre-chorus or just don't say it until the very end. I mean, this pre-chorus could be taken up 2 levels if you do not say delicate. That's my opinion, but I can tell you that the tension and the resolve based on how songwriting works, not saying your title word in that pre-chorus would be to your benefit. 'Cause I become so, yeah, I become so, right? We want delicate. We want to hear delicate. Don't give it to us yet. Wait until towards the end. Right here. Right there. Where we have that part. Maybe we just don't say delicate until the end. If we do feel the need to say it sooner, which of course we feel the need to, it fits there, it goes there. But if we feel the need to, then the listener feels the need to want to hear it. And we can take that from them and give that to them later. But if we need to hear delicate in the way that it's spoken earlier, delicate, if we need to hear it that way, let's wait until the second pre-chorus and let's still just make it the last thing. So rather than, 'cause I'll become so delicate, right? Don't make it just a fleeting thought. Make it, 'cause I become so, yeah, I become so delicate, right? Into the chorus, something that's going to just make delicate sound out and become the focal point and maybe even the dynamic transition. Delicate, yay! That could be really cool. That's the one thing I want more of. So there you have it. Delicate by LuxxLavishPromotions over on BandLab. Everyone should jump over there and follow them. And, you know, while you're over there, why don't you follow DJ Tatious on BandLab, YouTube, or wherever you choose to consume your social media. In the meantime, thanks for waking up, winding up, and queuing up with me for another excellent BandLab track. And we will see you tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know what it is. It's BandLab plus coffee. That's, what's that song? Step Up to Timbaland. You gotta have Timbaland breaths. Just saying. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to BandLab Plus Coffee. Happy Friday. It's time to wake up, wind up, and queue up with another excellent BandLab track. Today, we've got Cecile in All That Falls and Dies Away. So, on that happy note, and without further ado, let's head to the lab. Time to wake up, wind up, and queue up with another excellent BandLab track. Over here on the lab, we've got CecileDragon CecileDragon rather, at CecileDragon out of Annecy? Out of France, repping 435 followers, and I can just tell we're in for a treat with this dynamic waveform. 84 plays and all that falls and dies away. It's a forked track from Scott Polly, who's at Scott_Polly, and the description says, fork! Couldn't help grabbing this Scott Polly's beautiful piece of guitar about the power of fall to shed the old again. Where was this during fall week? That's okay. It's still fall. Let's go ahead and take a listen. Oh yeah, that's a fall vibe. Where are my lyrics, Cecile?
Waiting there under the rain, the chill of this void on my skin and my road.
Okay. This gives me real, who can save your soul vibes. Melissa Etheridge? Is that who I'm thinking of? Really great, simple acoustic, and a good raw vocal.
Chances are that I won't get the answers. This voice of the past gets annoyed. I told you.
Chances are I won't get the answers.
Pairs of tears light upon my windows. And now the fences of my heart, I'm just done with this love.
I agree, Dean. It sounds just like the vocals and guitar were written together.
Tell me how to quell this fire that burns from passion, thorns and scars in a dream.
Your additions are a really beautiful compliment, says Michelle. Totally agree.
The time has come with every leaf to share that weight inside your lungs, those rough days.
The time has come with every leaf to shed that weight.
I go. The cold that breaks, falls and dies away. You'll never be on that plane, never see it. And you know,
Really good chill vibes.
and at the rain, the chill of this void in my skin and my road. I'm wrong. I found a treasure in the bones. I found a treasure in the ones that witness my soul.
Excellent. What a cool acoustic and raw vibe. The guitar, raw. The vocal, raw. I mean, I know they had to come together in the studio on BandLab for this to work, but as a fork, these two things do feel like they complement each other really well, as a few people said down below. The good compliment from Michelle St. George. And then we also had, I believe it was Dean, who just said they seemed like they were written together. I mean, these things are all true. Let's head into two things I love and one thing I want more of. Focusing first on the fork itself in CecileDragon, the vocal tone and quality is phenomenal. While I wish I had the lyrics so that I could get a little bit more from that, I think that this vocal is just, like it has been said, the perfect complement to the guitar.
The time has come with every leaf.
The time has come with every leaf to shed that weight.
Those rough days.
inside your something. Your days are gone. This is, you can tell from the description, the power of fall to shed the old again. You can tell that that's what's happening in here with the emotional performance of the vocal. But really, I just can't stress enough the fact that these two things feel like they were written for each other. The song, the instrumental, they mesh in such a great way. And that's the first thing I love is the vocal on here. The second thing that I love, I would be remiss if I didn't mention this acoustic piece. Scott, the way that we have different velocities of notes within this acoustic performance, we're not always just strumming the guitar as hard as we can, but you really seem to convey the emotion of what an acoustic guitar can bring. It's not all just one note and you're playing the notes and we're in awe of the notes. No, you're actually giving us a character in the guitar. The guitar is a character in this story, and you can hear that as you go from a hard pluck to a soft pluck. You'll see. Boom. Real soft. Real soft. And then we'll hit hard again. You can hear the ups and the downs in the guitar. And you can hear those things to the point where, again, it becomes a character within the track. It's not just a guitar track that someone sang on. It is almost like a duet because the guitar is so dynamic and the vocal itself also has this really excellent tone that sits with it. So that's the second thing I love is how dynamic this guitar is and how well it creates this bed for the vocal to sit on. Together, they create an excellent fall vibe. If there was anything I'd want more of on this track, I think that I would just want to hear a couple more layers. I mean, it's raw and correct and everything is where it should be. As a producer or someone who produces their own pop music, I just like when things are a little more compressed, a little more, in your face when it comes to that kind of thing, a little more EQ'd, just with a little more separation. I really can't complain. This is a phenomenal track that you could put on and listen to over and over again. It gives me all the best 90s singer-songwriter vibes. I would sit and we would listen to cassettes in the kitchen in the early 90s of these kinds of singer-songwriter jams, these acoustic style calm, or go to a coffee house or a Einstein Bagels before it was cool, right? Before it was a chain. But this is just a great track. It would have been excellent for fall week. It's excellent now, and it is overall something that you should not sleep on. So everyone jump on over to BandLab and follow CecileDragon as well as Scott_Polly if you want some good forkable material. And while you're over there, you should follow DJ Tatious on BandLab, YouTube, or wherever you choose to consume your social media. In the meantime, I hope your weekend is restful and relaxing, and you can chill out so that you can wake up, wind up, and queue up with us again on Monday. See ya. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to BandLab Plus Coffee. It's time to wake up, wind up, and queue up with another excellent track. Today, we've got Ghosts in the Atmosphere. Ooh, it's spooky season by Vampire. Double spooky season. Right here. So don't go away or you'll miss it. Of course, not like right here. In fact, we need to head to the left. We've got Ghosts in the Atmosphere over here on the lab by Vampire Squared. That's at Audible Psyche, AudiblePsYche, out of Los Angeles, California, repping 432 followers, which is just a crime because this guy's music is phenomenal. So everyone needs to go over there and check him out. Ghosts in the Atmosphere is repping 60 plays, 27 likes, including one of our own so far. Vocals and music by me, but him. I'm not the problem. It's a good song. I don't want a copyright strike, so there's that. No pound signs, because I tire of those. Back in our day, it was called a pound sign, not a hashtag. Let's take a listen. It's like an acoustic version of Don't Start Now by Dua Lipa. If you don't wanna leave me, we're writing our own ending.
Characters dance in the distant twilight upon these
That rising progression.
stones, straight into this browning skyline. These hearts rip apart.
Some vocal layering and harmonies. I really like this ambience. Nice. There's ghosts in the atmosphere. I know what you're saying. DJ, why haven't you yelled about the lyrics? Because I asked Vampire for the lyrics and he sent them to me. So I have them. Nice. Nice pitch bending there.
Staring up at the crescent round land that encapsulates this mechanical land. You can catch glimmers of what once was, covered in the layers of a past blood. While down below in the land of the drones, there was so much pollution to cut a hole in the ozone. Now it's hot as hell, it's melting my snow cone. Through this gaping hole, the streams ring as one tone. This is what happens.
The hole in the ozone's melting his snow cone, guys.
Through the cup, we can all see in hindsight. 40-20 me inside with the blind side.
I really like the vibe of this whole thing.
At a sideline, dealing with the consequences of our time. Cause like these ghosts, one day we will all die. So till then, can we say we tried? The silent scream in the atmosphere, they hear above our city's light.
Very Owl City sensibilities on these synthesizers. I just need to hear kids doing those background vocals. That's like the kind of vibe I'm getting. I can almost see this being like the credit song to a movie. Really digging how this comes together in this climax with the sense. And then it kind of fizzles out. Nice. That was awesome. Vampire, what a cool track. And what a different track than what we usually hear from Vampire. Let's head over to two things I love and one thing I want more of. So the first thing I love in this track is the chorus, specifically. Check out this chorus, if I can find it. Let's just go to the end here. The hook, there's ghosts in the atmosphere, fear, fear. Yeah! You have this really great drum rhythm. Boom, 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 boom. You've got the bass in there. Right? Then you have like these screaming synths on top. Right? It's all very choppy and arpeggiated, which gives us this real bouncy, happy vibe. It's really got these Owl City vibes throughout the song. But the chorus specifically gives us that, and we're presented with the hook in such a way that it's upbeat and almost happy. But the topic of conversation in the song is not so much, which is one of the things that I love about music is the upbeat songs with the content that doesn't necessarily match that. There's that song by, I think it's called MIA, where it's the all I want to do is make some money, right? I won't go into that, but just the upbeat nature of the track and how fancy free all the singing is, but the content is much more dire than that. And so I very much enjoy that. So the first thing I love is definitely this hook. So good. So good. The second thing I love here is when we get into, I already talked a little bit about the synth, but when we get into the verse, listen to how the instrumental plays. Plays on the expectations, comes back down to earth.
Staring up at the crescent brown band that encapsulates this mechanical land. You can catch glimmers of what once was, covered in the layers of a past blood.
Continue to listen to this, but listen to how the vocals sit above everything else and they don't get lost. Even though we have all this really cool stuff happening, it's happening in different places. So the vocals get to be the feature of this. When we're doing this sing rap kind of style, almost like a soft Beastie Boys, we really need the vocal to stand out. We need it to sit out, to stand out above the crowd, even if it has to shout out loud. And until theirs is the only voice you hear, they're going to stand out till you notice them. If you know, you know.
Well, down below in the land of the drones, there was so much pollution to cut a hole in the ozone.
Land of the drones, there's so much pollution, they cut a hole in the ozone. Right. You can hear all these words clearly. And even though some of the lyrics are moving by pretty quick, and I couldn't quite catch them until I got the lyrics from Vampire, the lyrics sit on the track really well. They're just always there. They're always the star of the show. And then in the background, if you want to listen harder, you've got those cool Owl City sensibilities. You've got the rising synth. You've got the really great rhythm of the percussion that leads us to the chorus. There's so much to love, but specifically the way the vocal sits in this mix. That's the second thing I love. The first thing I love is this hook. And the second thing is how the verse vocal sits on this instrumental bed.
Staring up at the crescent brown band that encapsulates this mechanical land. You can catch glimmers of what once was, covered in the layers of a past blood.
So even though the hook is short and the verses are wordy, I think if there's one thing I want more of, I think it's more of a reprieve somewhere. And this almost seems like it's cheeky enough to give us a reprieve 2/3 of the way or right before the final chorus, where it's just a pad synth. And Vampire, instead of like the sing rap, you just do like that really irreverent talking, whether it's in the radio filter or normal, where it's just like, yeah, and you know, because this and that and the other thing, that's what's going on. And nobody's going to stop it. And if nobody stops it, this is what's going to happen. And if this is what happens, then we're going to get ghosts in the atmosphere, something like that. But there are those really great reprieves. I'm thinking specifically right now of Skrillex's song Breaking a Sweat, featuring the Cars, I think, where about halfway through, he goes into that rant on synthesizers being the future of music, but the rant being from like the 80s. So I think that would fit really nicely here. The song as it is, as it stands, is this really neat production that completely fits at the end of a movie, an end credits movie. I'm seeing a DreamWorks movie with that upbeat tone, but that dire content. So Ghost in the Atmosphere by Vampire Squared over here on BandLab at Audible Psyche. Make sure you head on over and listen to that. Like, comment, let them know that I sent you via BandLab Plus Coffee. And don't forget to follow him. And you know what? While you're over there, follow DJ Tatious on YouTube, BandLab, or wherever you choose to consume your social media. Don't forget to like this video, comment, subscribe, and share it. BandLab Plus Coffee, don't forget, is moving to once a week. And that's today, Mondays at 8 a.m. So we'll see you next time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to BandLab Plus. That's right, it's coffee. Let's address the elephant in the room. Hey DJ, what's that? Is that coffee or is that some kind of dirt water? Well, to be completely frank, honest, and 100% transparent with you, sometimes I like iced coffee. And to follow up that completely frank, transparent, and 100% honest confession, I also enjoy my coffee with plant-based caramel chocolate coffee creamer. So, you know, I do what I want. Look, it's been a week since our last show, and I've been chomping at the bit, listening to all kinds of cool BandLab music, and thinking to myself, man, if we're doing one show a week, what are we showcasing here? And of course, the obvious answer that comes to mind is sweet tracks from BandLab. But the second, and slightly less obvious, but still just as reasonably important answer is Halloween. Now, let us go and listen to a spooky contest entry for one of the BandLab Trick or Beat entries in the Halloween contest. Today's entry is Gramos. At Gramo is giving us the Pumpkin King. And to that I say, what's this? What's this? There's magic everywhere. What's this? What's this? To the lab! Time to wake up, wind up, and cue up with another excellent BandLab track. All right, we've got Pumpkin King over here on the lab by Gramo at Gramo with 1.89 thousand followers. The song itself has got 260 plays, 62 likes, including one of our own, and the description says, "The Pumpkin King is coming to scare you with this forkable fire, instrumental hip-hop dark beat, trick or beat." Appreciate your support, as always. I think that might have been Gramo speaking. At number 1, at BandLab, at trendsetter, at trending, at producer, at artist, handmade beat at BandLab, hashtag Halloween. He did the mash. He did the monster mash. Let's go ahead and press play on this, the Pumpkin King. All right, I see you. You beat me to it. Hey! I wrote some lyrics to this. The fact that we're using what sounds like a flute is very menacing. I can see us walking through the forest. Really great muffled screams in the background. That Inception for the bass. Yeah. Some lyrics on that. You're gonna be like, yo. I said a misdemeanor, never miss, I mean. The bag of tricks were cleaner than a murder scene. Sure looks to be, she got her hooks in me. Got me shook and now, stop. I'm cocked and loaded cause it's Halloween and my mask is clean. The cash screams, so let me hear you scream. Rah! Yeah. Then we need to write a hook for it. When the sun goes down and the night begins on Halloween. Dum, dum, dum. It's forkable. We can do it. Listen to how we bring in the strings, the choir sounds. But we never lose the muffled screams. We've got the reprieve here, where we're using sound effects to make it even more creepy. Love it. like how we're using shaker as well as drums here. So the bass goes really hard, but the drums are almost acoustic. It's this electronic drum set. Really nice. Is that a witch's laugh? Or is that crows? Is that a crow cawing? Caw! Caw! Boom, boom, boom. Oh, we're rising. We're rising all the way to the end. Who is it? Is it the Pumpkin King or is it Grandma? Excellent work, Grandma. The Pumpkin King is a sweet track and a very great contest entry for a Trick or Beat. Let's head over to 2 things I love and 1 thing I want more of. First up on 2 things I love is right here. Let's jump into the bois, the Inception bois. Here, it's super muffled. And then it's going to change up and we're going to get it opened more. There it is. And there's a lot happening there. It sounds like we have a few things layered, but the Inception bois is what's really doing it for me. Not to mention the way that we start kind of muffled. And then the next, every 2 bars, we change it up. Right? And it very much helps that we have a lot of other really neat little things going on here and there, but none of them ever like doing it at the same time and getting in the way. The second thing I love is this reprieve right here. This is really going to add to our Halloween vibe. Sure, throughout the whole thing, we've got the elements of spooky, which is excellent, but then we double down on it in the reprieve. It's like it's calm, but the calm is more disconcerting. The laughing, the crows. The way that we even ended it with that dynamic transition, it is very reminiscent of the sound design in the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse series when they used the sound for Prowler to jump scare you. Right? Or even when Spider-Man 2099 or 2049, whatever it is, comes out and it's right? They use this pitched up bass kind of sound to announce the character in a way that's almost its own sort of jump scare, but using the soundscape. So I love how we have this reprieve with the crows and the laughter, and then we just bring it all back with the dynamic transition. And then we get back into it. So it's a really great transition. And the fact that it goes from 126 all the way to 145, it's a really healthy 26 second transition time break in the action. Really well made, really well done. You know what? I think if there's one thing I want more of in this track, and we have some synths that do a somewhere in here. There it is. We get that at the beginning too. We get the do 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 do, and with that almost flute being super menacing, I would love it if towards the end of the song we added to that, and maybe with all these cool sounds we made that flute really dirty and we added some kind of electric guitar to it. I mean, I think that's what I want because we're ramping up there. So I think for that very last chorus, we could do the almost like Trans-Siberian Orchestra, but Halloween. So I think that's the one thing I want more of. All in all, this is a shoe-in for me. It makes me want to go listen to the other tracks that are here for the Trick or Beat and see what else I see or hear. Lyrics came to me immediately. I had typed them out on my phone while I was just sitting at work today. I was like, wow, this is really hitting hard. And it really leaves room for like a bunch of different cadences. Boom. Right? It leaves a ton of room for different cadences, which makes it a great beat, an excellent beat. Everyone should hop on this beat. If you're a rapper, go take this. It hits hard. It's what you've been looking for. Go create a revision. Fork this beat. That's what I'm saying. Everyone needs to jump on over to BandLab and follow @Gramo. Take a listen and love the Pumpkin King. Leave a comment letting him know that you were here because DJ Tatious said so. And don't forget, while you're over there, you should follow DJ Tatious on BandLab, YouTube, or wherever you choose to consume your social media. In the meantime, thanks for waking up, winding up, and queuing up another excellent track with me while I drink my admittedly much more creamer than you probably thought coffee. And we'll see you next time. Later. We jump in, we groove, we go big, and then we slow back down and let the rider kind of mellow off the ride. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to BandLab Plus Coffee. It's time to wake up, wind up, and queue up with another excellent track. Today we've got Alltunes as part of Subtract Records with the song Haunt You. Or is that Haunt You? Or is it Haunt University? Or is that DJ Tatious, the Haunt University? If you know, you know. So, without further ado, to the lab! Excellent track. Over here on the lab, we've got Haunt You by Alltunes as part of Subtract Records. Alltunes repping 254 followers, but this guy is focusing more on plays. You can see it in his posts. He's very positive, very much a quick learner, and just is flourishing. So when I say collaboration is key, make sure you keep this guy in mind because he's doing it, and it's sounding good. We've got Haunt You over here. Looks like the waveform is super dynamic. We're going to start small and we're going to get big. It's got 9 likes, including one of our own, 15 plays, and the description says, "Guess who's back? Back again. Alltunes back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? 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 Guess who's back?" You wondered how long I was going to do that, didn't you? Hey, y'all, I'm back. I took a different approach to this special Halloween track. Rather than my usual dubstep, I've created some EDM. It's not whack. The genre is much harder than it appears, so cut him some slack. Thanks for your patience. Going to submit to I Am Undiscovered Records is putting together a Halloween playlist. If you haven't heard, if you don't know, now you know. And happy Halloween. So if you do have Halloween tracks, don't forget, you too can submit to Undiscovered Records. Let's go ahead and take a listen to Alltunes track Haunt You. Blue Sky says, "Great haunting intro. Got that hocus pocus musical feel in there too. Perfect haunting track." What was haunting is how I just said perfect. Oh yeah, I feel it. It's getting epic. Oh, nice hit. The high notes. I really do like this, but I like the fact that like the xylophone has the island feel, but also could be like skeleton bones. All tunes, where are my lyrics? Where are my lyrics? Ha! This is so Bass Hunter. With some machine sounds from Skrillex. Oh, I already know what I want more of.
Don't you dare leave things like that.
Wah. Wah. Nice. I love how we're adding layers here. That was 2. And we change it. Great job, buddy. Woo. Werewolf? Monster? Tiger? Someone slurping from a straw? Now we're gonna wind down. I do very much enjoy the roller coaster. We start, we go, and then we come back. What's that roller coaster that does that? Not the Ring of Fire, but the one that goes and then just becomes a backward roller coaster. Awesome track, All Tunes. Haunt You, All Tunes as part of Subtract Records. Released yesterday for us. That's going to be a few days ago because you are watching this in the future. But what I will say is that there is so much to love in this track. Let's get to it. 2 things I love and 1 thing I want more of. The first thing I love about this track is what I mentioned. We start slow, we jump in, we groove, we go big, and then we slow back down and let the rider kind of mellow off the ride. Starting with these, so I guess the first thing I love is how we ramp up and ramp out. Starting with these chimes or these bells, and then we add the cathedral bells as well. Now we're going to add the EDM elements, the synthesizers, and then we jump right into it. Okay, we've got the xylophone, but now we have our kick and our hits. Some sound effects. Really great job of building this. Add more. I really want the lyrics for that. So every 2 bars, we're adding or we're subtracting or we're doing great things with the track. So I really, really very much dig that we just continue to let the track move through and evolve the way that it does. That's the first thing I love. And you can tell by the waveform that it does continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger until we decide to come to the end. New elements every few bars. That's one thing I really do like. And that includes some of those great transition elements. Boom. Boom. You'll hear those things kind of throughout the song, and those are great as well. All part of the addition and subtraction process to keep us entertained as listeners. The second thing I love may not be what anyone's thinking, but I really love the vocals here. Like I said, they give me this bass hunter vibe. And here's why I said they may not be what anyone's thinking because there are so many elements to the track. But the way that I'm looking at it is the track was designed as this electronic track for these little break-ins. I don't know exactly what the lyrics are because we don't have them here. But what I can say is I can say that it's haunting and it's creepy. And it's with the title Haunt You, and with it sounding like he's saying, I love you or I haunt you, this idea that you are following them around, or it's very disconcerting. It's very creepy and haunting, and in a very tense way. So not only that, but we have those bass hunter style lyrics. The way that things fade in, the way they filter in, and all of that just kind of lines up with that sort of a track. Lots of great panning back and forth, lots of great filtering all around the vocals that are designed to give us even more to chew on. So the first thing I love is this really great addition and subtraction. The way the track is incredibly dynamic throughout the entire 2 minutes and 56 seconds. And the second thing I really enjoy are the vocals. If I can find them. Don't you dare leave things like that. So not only are the instruments and the electronic synthesizers doing different things and being incredibly dynamic, the vocal is being dynamic throughout as well. The way that it's processing, the way that we're feeding it through, and the way that we're performing it as well. And when I say we, I mean all tunes, but the way that it's being performed is also very dynamic. So everything about this track is an excellent roller coaster full of dynamics. And if there's one thing that I preach a lot other than collaboration, it's dynamics in your music and how they keep everyone interested. And this kept me interested from beginning to end. Now, if there's one thing that I want more of, don't you dare. So if there's one thing I want more of, when we get into the vocals 2/3 of the way through the song here, you'll hear kind of what I'm looking for. You can hear that the vocals kind of separate more. And so you get a little bit more of them. So it creates the mix as it stands is a good mix. It's just very amalgamous. There are a lot of things happening at once, and that's really great, and it gives us a lot to chew on. But in this particular case, with everything happening and with these vocals, we may need to make some EQ moves as well as some volume decisions, just as simple as volume decisions, to bring things either to the forefront or behind. What do we want the listener to hear at any given time? If it's the vocals, then we should hear the vocals. And while we hear the vocals there, what I'm getting more of is I'm getting the xylophone. And that's probably due to the frequency spectrums that they inhabit. But perhaps next time we either sidechain the xylophone so that it ducks out of the way of the vocal every time, or we just turn down the xylophone or take out some of the more prominent frequencies in that, like, I don't know, 1600 to 2000 range that it kind of sounds like it might be hitting at. It could be anywhere from 1 to 2000, but in there is something that is causing that xylophone to poke through the mix and outshine the vocals. So we have to decide, do we want people to listen to the xylophone or do we want them to hear the vocals? If the vocals are just part of the track, then we need to pull them back even further and wash them out even more. We need to make it very clear to the listener what they're listening to at any given time. What do you want them to hear? Do you want them to hear the singing and the message? Or do you want them to hear the melodies being played by the xylophone. That is kind of what I want more of throughout the track. We have such excellent vocals. I personally want those to be at the forefront of the mix. And if that means making some decisions to muffle the instruments that are getting in the way, we have to do that. And another way that we can really do that, if we want those instruments to shine, anytime there's vocals, we can sidechain the elements that we want to duck out of the way and essentially bring the volume down. And then what we do is anytime the vocal stops and that sidechain stops working, those instruments come back to the forefront. They're allowed to do their thing. So they go from being condensed and put in a box where the highs are lower and the lows are higher, and they just this squished thing, and it's in the background, and then the vocal stops and it goes whoom, back up and really flourishes back to the front. That is probably what I would do here, because you do have some relatively like banging instrumental hits that we really want to hit home. And so it would be really nice for the volume on those to peak up just a little bit more in the mix. So 2 things I love. I love the dynamics. The second thing I love is those bass hunter style vocals and how those vocals also feed into the dynamics. The one thing that I want more of is I want mix decisions to be made based on what we want the listener to hear. That's it. It's an excellent track. Everyone should jump over to BandLab and listen to Haunt You by Altunes at ALTUNES as part of Subtract Records. Great track. Deserves far more than 16 plays. And you know what? While you're over there, you should go ahead and follow DJ Tatious as well on BandLab, YouTube, wherever you choose to consume your social media. Lots of great things are happening. And, you know, if you just want more BandLab in your life, go ahead and check out this video. Other than that, thanks for waking up, winding up, and queuing up another excellent track with me. And I will see you next time.
When the sun goes down and the night begins, you can't miss what happens when the sun goes down and the night begins. You can't miss what happens when
Oh, yeah, we have a great show for you tonight. You know it's coming to you. We have DJ Tatious. That's right. Woo! He's coming to us tonight on Angified. Make sure to go ahead, like, share, and subscribe to DJ Tatious at DJ Tatious on BandLab, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Let's go ahead and welcome him tonight here on Angified. Hi, DJ Tatious.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going beautiful. I hope you're having a wonderful evening.
I am. It's been crazy, but I'm here now and I'm happy.
Yay! Well, we're going to have some fun and we're going to find out more about you. So, I need to ask because it looks like you have been going out and doing music for quite some time.
I mean, a little while.
Yeah, a little while.
A little
All
while.
right. Well, did your grandparents, were they musically inclined? Did your grandparents love music and you kind of grew up with that in your genes? Or was it something that you just fell into and just said, this is me?
You know, I don't know if my grandparents were super musically inclined, but my mom was really into singer-songwriter stuff from the early mid 90s.
Okay.
And so we hung out when she was in college, and it was herself and me and my brother. We actually hung out with a lot of the indie musicians and went to little bookshop, coffee shop gigs. And that's actually one of our indie musician friends named Sarah Hickman from Austin, Texas. That's the first album I was ever on as a secret track when I was like 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible to be working with someone at that age.
It was a love letter to her when we were getting ready to move to Seattle. It was just about how I would miss her. And I recorded it on this really old, probably from the 80s cassette deck that had a built-in microphone. So the sound quality is horrible. And it's just 7-year-old me talking about what a great singer she is and how much I'll miss her. And she decided to put it the hidden track on one of her albums called Two Kinds of Laughter, and it's on iTunes.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So she was like your inspiration, your mom?
Yeah, my mom is my inspiration for a lot, but definitely someone who exposed me to music. She didn't do any kind of music. My dad was more the musician, but my mom exposed me to all the music that made me go, I like writing this stuff.
So you found more in the lyrics and the writing more than you did with the composing.
Yeah. I work a lot with, you've actually had Glass Garden on your show before. I work a lot with him. We've known each other for a long time, but he is more of a musician, actually probably the ultimate musician. And I am more of what I would call a beat poet. It started with like poetry, moved to rapping, and then I was like, Owl City's pretty cool. I could do dream pop.
Yeah. Very cool. And so did you do anything like in high school with friends? Because I like you went from being 7 years old to like current, and Matt's amazing.
How old do you think I am?
Amazing. You've got to be maybe in your mid-20s.
Wow. Yes. Thank you. I'm actually 34. I'm 34. Mid-30s.
Wow. See that? Music keeps you young.
It totally does. Totally does.
It frees your soul.
To answer your question, high school, I mean, middle school was a lot of choir and jazz choir. And then high school is when someone introduced me to Fall Out Boy when I was working at a Hollywood video.
Nice.
Yeah. And I got introduced to Fall Out Boy, which made me fall in love with all of like punk pop, punk rock. My stepsister was really into like Blink-182 and Green Day. And I think I survived 97 to 99 on like the Dookie album alone. So,
oh yes, that one was awesome. We all lived for that hidden track on Dookie too.
Right. But,
so your poetry and your rapping, your poetry, did that change then when you like discovered like all this new like grunge and alternative and different spectrum of music?
Totally. I think that's when I realized that in poetry, there's so much more than what I thought it was. And what I was actually doing when I wrote poetry was I was writing hooks. So it turns out that I wasn't great at writing poetry. I was good at writing choruses. And so I heard these punk pop guys singing about how they can't stand their girlfriends anymore because they cheated on them and they miss their hometown. And I'm like, wait a second, this sounds a lot like late 90s country music, but with a better beat. I can get behind this. And the older I get, the more I just love and appreciate the memories of 2008, that moment in time. I'm like, man, this is where they got it from. This is what these guys were writing about. And so now Glass Garden, I just write punk pop summer songs.
And you guys are killing it. You guys are literally killing it. All the BandLab contests that you guys have been winning, like one after another, geniuses. Like you said, like with Matt Glass, he is probably like the ultimate musician.
He really is.
With all of his background and experience, and then with your writing and your imagination and creativity behind it. Because I'm sure you touch spectrums of music that he didn't. Especially when it comes to the poetry and the rap.
Yeah, well, he is super emotional in his lyric writing, but I always tell Matt that we're like two pieces to that yin yang, right?
Yeah.
He's the yin and I'm the yang. He's got like this metal, the real emotional, angry, and that really shows. All of his music. He goes for this professional sound every time. It doesn't matter who he's working with. He's going to put his all into everything. And then I'm on the other side and I'm like, look, all I want to do is make people feel happy. Like I don't have to speak Japanese to be able to speak to someone with dream pop, make them feel like they're floating on the clouds, and just take someone's crappy day and turn it into a good day.
Exactly. I don't need to understand what you're saying to feel you.
Yep.
And you can hear that with the emotion, both that you put in your tracks and that he puts in his.
Totally.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So let me ask, who do you intend to inspire in the future?
So I have two little kiddos under the age of 10 running around my house, and I have a beautiful wife, and the moments that almost bring me to tears are when I'm running around my house and my son will run out of his room yelling the chorus B section from my Star Wars track that I wrote.
Yes.
So he's just running around going, "Get steady, get ready, loaded chamber, pull the trigger." And I'm like, bro, you're going to school in a few days. You can't say that at school. They don't understand it's Star Wars, buddy.
Yes.
So they'll run around the house singing my songs. Dad, play the song you wrote about us. Play the song you wrote about Mom.
That's
and
beautiful.
So that's who I want to inspire.
That's awesome. I had to ask that question because I have taken notice that you also intend to inspire musicians out there with their ideas and kind of open up their minds. We have a track that we're going to be playing in a little bit that I seen you put a post up the other day. You want to hear some of the renditions and things that people did with your piece.
Yeah, good catch.
Is there a specific audience that or musician out there that maybe you've seen yourself as being that you hope to like inspire to say, hey, this is where you can be, or, with when you do that stuff?
Yeah, that's a really good question. The post you're talking about is just, we can talk more about it, but this song came to my mind, and it was wholly inspired by, there was a band called Go Periscope from Seattle, and they're not super huge, but I invested so much into listening to their music and this vibe and this style they put off. And then you couple that with Owl City's like real smooth vibes, and then you add in Echo Smith and their verbiness. And it's like being in a trance, driving in a freeway at 2 a.m. in Seattle, and the streetlights are just, and the music is just keeping you moving. But inspiring artists is, I'm by no means a phenomenal vocalist, a phenomenal writer, a phenomenal composer, or arranger. Like I'm okay, but I'm by no means phenomenal. I want everyone to know that like you can make music, and if you have something or some things that you lack, there are others out there who make the pieces to that puzzle complete. Without Glass Garden, I wouldn't be able to put half the things I put in circulation, or without Gramo, I wouldn't be able to put half the dream pop I put in circulation.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Yes, I do investigations. So you have to tell me about this song, Brick by Brick, Tear Down the Walls.
Yeah, Brick by Brick is the first BandLab contest I ever won. Coincidentally, it's the first contest I ever entered. So I'm wondering, Glass Garden won his first one. Maybe I don't know. I see you, BandLab, but it's like an addiction. You get that first win and then you're hooked. But Brick by Brick is a song that I did in collaboration with a lab coat named Teddy Bearosaurus. And he used to be in the music industry and now just kind of does his own thing for placement stuff. But I came to him with this idea. Guitar Bart on BandLab won the contest the month prior, which became BandLab's piece for other BandLabbers or lab coats to use. And so I took this idea to Teddy Bearosaurus and I said, I want to scream and I want to talk to people about my faith in God. but not in a way that says, hey, I don't like you if you don't believe what I believe, but more like, hey, the reason I believe what I believe is because I'm the worst sinner. I'm the one who's out here on the street going, being two-faced, and I need to repent of that. And so it's the frustration I have every time I do something that I know I shouldn't. And I just need to come to terms with that. And I just need to, and just like scream. And so that's what Brick by Brick is all about. It's this course A and B of just yelling and screaming, followed by this pissed. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. Oh no, I lost you, Angie. I can't hear your audio.
Here I am.
Oh, there you are.
I said, it is very frustrating, when you have something and it's almost like you go back to the story where Jesus was betrayed, and it's every single time, and that frustration, and how, he sat there before and he said, you're going to betray me. You're going to 3 times, and no way, I'm not going to. And that frustration builds up because nowadays you have to be careful. People don't like being open and talking about religion. People get offended because their beliefs aren't the same. So you kind of have to come to terms and say, I have to accept you for you and who you are and what you believe. And, have that bigger heart that Jesus would have when it comes to saying, I forgive you. We're still going to be friends, even if you believe something completely different, if you don't believe anything, and we'll see, because along those journeys, he shows us magic. He shows us our paths.
There's this awesome adage called love the sinner, hate the sin. And that's one of the things that I do my best to work on and work with. So, yeah. So that's Brick by Brick.
Well, let's go ahead. Let's give a listen to it, shall we?
Okay.
All right. This is Brick by Brick, tearing down the walls. And at Teddy Barosaurus. I hope I said that right. Here we go. In the description, it says, there is no limit. Acknowledge your value and recognize. Asking for help isn't weakness. Let at Teddy Barosaurus and I break it down for you in this battle cry. Fork This Now, the Academy Rap Hip Hop Academy Radio Trendsetter Vocalist Hot Beats. Here we go with Brick by Brick.
Tear down the wall. Wake up and save yourself. Put the power on display. Tear down the wall. Embrace the need for help and brick by brick you build. Tear down the wall. Wake up and save yourself. Put the power on display. Tear down the wall. Embrace the need for help and brick by brick you build your way. I can't afford to wait another day. Tear down this time, let's do this right. Here comes it up to the other side. I can't afford to wait another day. You wanna do this? Let's go.
Reflecting the light isn't easy. A flower with withering petals not beating. There's nowhere to hide. They see me. I'm walking around on these streets, deceiving. My words are so seething. Look over there, it's my actions retreating. I feel my heart beating. So why do I feel like I died? Oh yeah, it's my pride. Tear down the wall. Wake up and save yourself. Put the power on display. Tear down the wall. Embrace the need for help and brick by brick you build. Tear down the wall. Wake up and save yourself. Put the power on display. Tear down the wall. Embrace the need for help and brick by brick you build your way. I can't afford to wait another day. Tear down this time, let's do this right. Here comes it up to the other side. I can't afford to wait another day. You wanna do this? Let's go. DJ Tatious bringing the flow. Simple incitement of rage to define it. Just get in my face and then scream like you mean it. Just scream like you mean it. It's worth it. I mean, if you work, then it's worth every beat, never cleaner. Retaining the anger as fuel is a dangerous weapon. I bet when you teaching that lesson, you think that you're making them think that they less than, but blinking it's flipping the script. Cause that scrub that you hit with your fist was an angry reflection. Let go of your stress, you are blessed beyond measure. Created a treasure, so sever your selfish ambition and keep moving forward. Accomplish the mission, cement your position. Repent and release all the hate, it is finished, don't wait.
Tear down, go wake up and save yourself with the power on display. Tear down, go embrace the need for help, and brick by brick you build your way. Down, go wake up and save yourself with the power on display. Tear down, go embrace the need for help, and brick by brick you build your way. Wake up and save yourself with the power on display. Embrace the need for help, and brick by brick you build your way. Wake up and save yourself with the power on display. Embrace the need for help, and brick by brick you build your way.
Wow. That was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Brick by brick, like I was blown away.
Thank you.
You didn't just tear it down, you blew me away. Absolutely incredible. Make sure you guys, you go out and like, share, and subscribe to DJ Tatious. You know what to do. Oh, this is great. I'm loving this.
I love music, so if I had all day, I would talk about it all day.
Where did you get the inspiration? Well, I just asked that, didn't I? Where you got the inspiration for that piece and the collaborator.
Yeah, Teddy.
How did you connect that one? Because that's a tough topic.
Yeah. I think in music specifically, we tend to feel a lot more than we think. And so asking Teddy for help on that was not hard at all, because at the end of the day, we both speak music on that piece. So our belief system might not completely line up, but he heard something there, and he was like, I can work with this, and he could connect to the feelings. And I'll be completely honest with you, if a little bit of my theology and mentality rather happens to slip in when you hear it, that's okay. I mean,
yeah, that's you.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Don't ever stop being you.
I'm gonna do my best.
Good. And if you need help, believe me, I can help. I'll kick you in the butt. I'll tell you, go look at your beautiful wife and kids. And if that doesn't give you a good enough reason, you know it.
I know it.
All right. So we were talking about this song a little bit earlier with that post. My heart was awake, and so was the interstate.
Yes, I'm in love with this song. Like, at the end of the day, this is my favorite thing that I've ever written. I was absolutely heartbroken when not only did it not win, it didn't place. But this song just encompasses everything I liked about Seattle, which was not much before I moved down to Texas. And this song is my most listened to artist last year on Spotify was Echo Smith. And they have a very specific EP with a song called Get Into My Car. That's just this really dreamy, verby. And I was like, man, I hear something, but I hear it in Go Periscope's voice. And so as a writer, I brought those two things, and I was like, we need strings, we need reverb, we need synths, and we need a hook that just says la da 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 da.
I love it that not only does your brain tell you, like, with lyrics and how to phrase things in a character mode, because it sounds like you get into character mode when you write,
Totally.
but you also are seeing the colors of the instruments floating through it before it's even designed. That's beautiful.
Yeah, thankfully Glass Garden speaks that language, because sometimes I'm
does.
like, I'm like, he's like, yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Yes, he totally does. Okay, so now, do you have this piece forked on BandLab? Do you have it as forkable, or do you want people to reach out to contact you to say, maybe I have an idea to throw on this?
So this particular track, I don't believe it's forkable.
Okay.
However, I re-recorded the vocals.
Okay.
I'm a big believer in constant learning, right? So I'm always trying to get better. I re-recorded the vocals and created some a cappella stems. Nice. And so anyone who was serious about it, because anyone can fork something, but I'm actually going to be releasing an EP of the remixes, which we have I want to say we have 6 or 7 tracks now by 4 different artists total, including myself. And I will invite them to the acapella, at which point they can use the vocal stems as they please. It's
that's awesome.
Yeah. And there's a, spoiler alert, there are 2 completely different styles of EDM remixes. There is a punk rock reimagining of it. There is an acoustic style dreamy reimagine. And then there's Glass Gardens remix, which currently is only available on Spotify.
Correct. Yes. Oh, you're awesome.
Thank you.
You're awesome. That is a neat way to invite collaborators and the community to kind of, hey, just open up. Let me hear what you want to do, kind of doing it in a way that isn't so outspoken,
Well, and it creates community. They can't get away with going, I'm going to fork this and then leave it for nobody to ever hear. As artists, we tend to start things and not finish things because we're like, oh, piece of candy, right? But this way, they have to come to me and we have to start some kind of relationship that involves you taking something personal to me and making it personal to you. And at the end of the day, I want to know people who are willing to put themselves out there like that.
Oh, I love it. All right, let's go ahead. Let's check out this song and let's have some fun. You guys know what to do if you'd like to be interested in doing a collaboration with DJ Tatious. You hit him up. He will go ahead. He'll connect back with you. We're going to go ahead now and check out this song. Heart was awake and so was the interstate. It's quite simply a song that he loves the most. It keeps running around in his head and it's going to get stuck in yours as well. He wrote about driving through Seattle on I-5 in the middle of the night and being comforted by that. Those lights beaming down, as he said. The Glass Garden remix is live on Spotify and there's an upcoming Reimagine EP featuring other lab coats giving their takes on it. The description of this song. Night drive, #favorite things. Mesmerized by the streetlights and letting the rhythm consume me. I am in love with this song. I hope you enjoy the latest DJ Tatious original for the Fabulous Fork contest. Pop electronic songwriter, producer. And away we go.
Headlights brighter than the sun. Night drive, everything is running through my mind. The paces and the panic, and I find they're playing our song. Da 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 da. I want to know you better. Da 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 da. Would you give me the pleasure? Da 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 da. Baby, it's now or never. Da 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 da. I want to know you better. This feeling in my brain, I'm triggered by your name. I need to hear it all again. You know the sound, it consumes me. The room spins around me. This moment just found me. Close my eyes, let it drown me like
I know why that hook is so stuck in your head. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Know
Totally.
you better. Yep. And I think it connects with everybody because I think everybody's been stuck in those lights.
I hope so. I got incredibly lucky. BandLab has this huge element of luck to it, and I got incredibly lucky. And I was just playing around with the album creator for the first time, and I decided, let me take all the things that I made that I can get behind from year one, and let me just put them all on an album. And I did, and I don't know, a month later, notifications started popping up, and I was like, what is going on? Well, it turns out it got featured right next to Broke Bugatti, and it was featured in pop for a long time. And so that song now has like 8,000 plays.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's
8.12 thousand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
Okay, you have to tell me about there's Love and Arson.
Yes. Love and Arson is so cool because it's a dream come true. There is a song I have not released yet that if Glass Garden watches this, he knows eventually I will give up on the instrumentation myself and come to him. But in the meantime, Love and Arson is kind of the realization of what I was trying to do when I decided to seriously create something back in 2020. I tried to create something myself. I wasn't happy with it because I know music from a hearing perspective, but I don't know music from a producing perspective, or didn't. And so I couldn't make it come alive. And so I signed up for a class. My beautiful wife that you mentioned was very generous and was like, why don't you take this money and sign up for Ryan Tedder's songwriting class? Ryan Tedder's the lead singer of One Republic, and he wrote like every song in the world, including things like Halo by Beyonce. And so I signed up for that class, and there were 3 projects that you had to turn in throughout the class. And Love and Arson became the 3rd one. I called up Glass Garden and I said, hey, let's do this one together. Like, I think I want to release something to Spotify that is something that I am part of the whole process on. Teddy Bearsaurus kind of took my vocals and just was like, here you go, bud. Whereas Glass Garden was like, yeah, we can do that. So we met in his garage, which is where he mentioned he does all his recording. And we sat there and we're just like, what does a love letter to summers of 2008 sound like? What does that even sound like to us? And I'm like, well, it has to be kind of fluttery and acoustic-y, but not just acoustic yet. And we have to write about like how everything's always more intense in the summer, just because it is, right?
It is.
There's no school. There's fewer responsibilities back in 2000.
People sweat more because it gets hot.
Boom. Perfect. You have to give up on not sweating. There you go.
Right.
But yeah, so he was like, this is it, man. What are we going to call it? And I said, we're going to do a Fall Out Boy song name. And he goes, no, I'm not going to let you do that. And I said, you don't have a choice. And so we went through some variations, and ultimately I sent him this, and I was like, I'm not budging, Matt. And it became There's Love and There's Arson, and sometimes there's both.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to go ahead. We're going to check out this song now. I also did notice that you had the video on YouTube for this one. So I did grab that video as well, because you all need to go and like, share, subscribe to him on YouTube, on Spotify, on BandLab. Get out there now.
More YouTube content coming in the future. Like I mentioned previously before the show, I'm building my house down in Texas, and it's supposed to be done October-ish. And I'm actually building a 5x10 small music studio space into it. And that's when we're going to start putting up more YouTube content.
And then you guys have to wait for his EP. I'm getting teased right now.
Lots of good
wait
stuff.
till 2023.
Lots of good stuff in the pipeline, including more with Glass Garden.
Yeah. Awesome. We're going to go ahead. We're going to share this song now. There's love and there's awesome. And sometimes there's both. Make sure you go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. It is on BandLab here. If I could write a love letter to 2008 and everything it means to me, this song would be signed, sealed, and delivered. A complete collaboration between At Glass Garden and myself. Enjoy punk, pop, acoustic love song, BandLab songwriter. Here we go. Yay.
Oh, you tease me with that smile. You only live once. Those tan lines were calling my name, and the water was glistening. Let's pretend we're kids again. Never think twice. Killing time like it was revenge, but the time is what did us in. The laughs we shared and how we stared into the sun like we didn't care. You hold the key to a memory of perfect peace, and we'll light it on fire like a sunset skyline. I'm game if you are game. The nights were just as warm when I held you close, and I couldn't contain my stupid grin. It was the perfect storm. It felt like time slowed down while my fingers traced your skin. The laughs we shared and how we stared into the sun like we didn't care. You hold the key to a memory of perfect peace, and we'll light it on fire like a sunset skyline. I'm game if you are game. 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 I can feel you there when I close my eyes. Reach out my hands and touch the sky. Whether sun-filled days or rain-soaked nights, we can light it on fire if you are game. The laughs we shared and how we stared into the sun like we didn't care. You hold the key to a memory of perfect peace, and we'll light it on fire like a sunset skyline. I'm game if you are game. I'm game if you are game.
I'm game. That was awesome. Those harmonies, like, oh, it was great. How, like, that was just beautiful.
Thank you. That's what you get when Glass Garden and I are pulling at each other. He is, as you mentioned, he's a pro, as you all mentioned, he's a pro. And at the end of the day, as a pro, he has things inside his head and he's like, this has to happen this way. And then I come in as someone who's not quite a pro, which lets me bring things that maybe aren't by the books. And he goes, you know what? I think we could do that. and then as a pro, he finds out how to implement them correctly. Right. So he'll be like, hey, dial back, DJ. And I'm like, I can't do it. He's like, you need a few more syllables off, DJ. No, I need all the syllables.
Yes, and as a writer, I feel your pain on that. Those syllables matter.
Yeah, uncomfortable cuts are always necessary. I'm planning on doing a series that I started. And
that's a trick to hooks.
Yes, 100%.
With the syllables and hooks, that is totally, because everybody tries to get it, and it's funny because they might be able to sing it with you, but when they try to do it by themselves, they're like, wait a minute, like that's the hook line right there. That's that extra syllable that like was placed in so perfectly that you just have to hit just right.
Yep, 100%.
I love looking for those in songs.
I agree.
It's exciting. Okay, so you have to tell me about the song On Purpose and On Mission, because this one's all you, right?
Yeah, it is. Weird to think about it that way. I have this hashtag that I use all the time called collaboration is key. And I totally believe that. But at the end of the day, BandLab ran a contest back in November of 21, I think. And it was Loopify, where you had to use BandLab's looper packs. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, I don't have to play any instruments. I know what sounds good. I just might not know how to bring it from here to here on an instrument. So I went into their loop packs and I was like, what can I do that maybe it's contrasting? What would not feel normal when you read the titles, but would work? And so I went with a pack that I have loved ever since I started BandLab that was called like Anthem Rock or something, because it's super verby and arena rock sound. And then I clashed that with a pack called Country Twang for a little bit of that character and texture. And this song is kind of like the evolution of Brick by Brick. If Brick by Brick is me just being ticked off that I can't get this, then On Purpose and On Mission is me going, God, I can't actually do this without you. So I'm going to step back because I am clearly not capable. And I am just going to pray for the miracle. And, those are the moments when God comes through, is when you put aside yourself and put him in front. So
that's right.
And then my wife is actually hidden in these vocals.
Oh, she included, yay!
But she's hidden back there. Her voice is so perfect for this auto-tuning texture that you have in the second verse. And unless you're really listening for it, you probably won't be able to hear it. But without it, it would be nothing.
Oh, that's awesome. A lot of times spouses and other halves have a problem because it's almost like we're married to the music at different times. And it can be very, it can be very struggling, especially considering like, it's not like we do it on purpose. Time just slips away.
Yep. Music
heals, it's our therapy, and it allows us to express ourselves. Yep. So you're on a mission and a purpose. Let's go ahead. Let's check this out.
Okay.
All right. Yay. Make sure you check today on BandLab. This is his second contest win on BandLab. Came from the track created entirely using BandLab loops on mobile, not PC, and some sprinkled in automation on BandLab for PC. BandLab Loopify contest got me writing new originals. I used the Stadium Rock X, Country Twang X. I can never pronounce this word. Numeric packs to create the track for this one. I love uplifting music, creating more trending new rock, create mobile masterpiece. It is so awesome to be able to create things. And thank you, BandLab, for allowing us to go ahead and use your loops and be able to create something completely magical. Here we go with On Purpose and On Mission.
There were days I was drawing on my last breath, And every time you cross my mind, I know that I found what I'm looking for. I'm praying,
I love it. I love how you brought your religion and your faith into that one as well.
Thank you.
You know, we don't hear enough of that good stuff nowadays.
Hey, I am wholeheartedly believe that bands like Skillet are doing some really heavy lifting, because there are a lot of people out there who are like, well, Christian music is just terrible. And I'm like, but wait, it isn't though. I mean,
That's right. It's
we're
not.
doing
It's what
it.
we make it. You know, like I know you said you were horrible with like 80s movies and things like that. Do you remember the movie Sister Act?
I
Whoopi
do.
Goldberg. Okay.
But Sister Act 2 is probably more my jam, because there's a moment at the end where this kid hits this phenomenal run, and I'm like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah. And in that movie, that actually pushed more people to just be kind, you know, to start singing. You know, after Sister Act came out, there were more people that like actually start singing, and you've seen more churches fill up with guitars and more choirs, and they all tried to almost like emulate that. You know,
Yeah.
faith was starting to shine through again. You know, and I think that's the biggest piece that we're all missing is faith.
It's a good thing to have. I
It
agree.
is. It is. And it's beautiful that you are letting it out and letting it be heard.
Thank you.
Yes. 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 Okay. So now I have to ask about this last piece that I have here for you, Chasing the Sun. This is you and
Yes.
Grandma, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Grandma and I have done so many songs together now on BandLab. Grandma is probably the single most positive and encouraging person on BandLab that I've met, in the sense that he will not only be positive and encouraging, but if he sees that you have a new track out, he's going to take the time to sit through that entire track. And then at the end of it, because on PC, pro tip, people know when you comment, they have a timestamp.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if you comment on my track at 20 seconds, I'm going to be less flattered than when you comment at the end. But Grandma will always listen to the whole thing, and then he gives you this just genuine feedback of the things, particular things he likes about your track. And I'm just always like, dude, I'm blown away by not only the time that takes, but the generosity. And
Yeah.
and I have this saying that if generosity isn't sacrificial, is it really generous? And so he's sacrificing his time. And so he reached out to me and he's like, hey, you know, you do dream pop. I have this beat. What do you think? And that became Standing Strong. And then we had a few more. Pro tip, Bright Side is one of my favorites, but this one specifically is kind of a precursor, because next Friday, this song actually drops on Spotify.
What?
So it's been on BandLab, and then it'll drop on Spotify next Friday. And it is a song all about how I just finished spending almost 6 months away from my family for this move down to Texas. And it makes me emotional to talk about it. But my wife and my kids were up in Seattle finishing out the school year. She's a teacher. They were in school. And I had to start working, because to buy a house, you have to be employed. And so I transferred down here and started working, and was just all alone, and flew back and forth so often. And there are more songs about it, but definitely this song is all about me being sad, but also like, don't cry. I'm on my way. I got you.
Yeah. Just a matter of time. I will be there soon. Whitney Houston actually got me with one of her songs when my kids were little. You know, I know I'm away for right now, but it's not going to be forever.
Yep.
You know, and I'm sure your wife absolutely loved, even though you weren't there, hearing all these beautiful songs that you wrote for her and sang, and probably cried to her as well, because that was probably difficult for both of you.
Yeah, definitely hard.
Aw. Let me ask, where do you see yourself going in the future?
I just want to
Because
keep learning.
now you're down in Texas. Well, that's never going to stop. You're going to always keep learning, even when we're old and 150 years old. But like, where do you see your music going in the future? Do you see maybe your kids turning, 10, 11, or 7, like you know, like when you were and you first did that love song? Do you see them going ahead and saying, we're going to be a family band one day, or do you say, you know what, like, do you have a son and a daughter?
Yeah, yeah. I have
You got the best of both worlds. So maybe your son says, you know what, I'm picking up those drums, and your daughter says, well, I'm going to play my guitar because I can make mine louder than yours.
Flip it, and you got it on the nose. My
Oh,
daughter
look
wants
at
to be the
that.
drummer.
Look at that. Look at that. So you are going to have a family band. That's awesome.
How cool would that be?
Right? And your wife is singing it too. So to get her out, and be able to share that with her is truly a gift.
I agree.
Yeah. So let's go ahead. Let's chase the sun into the future with learning, growing, evolving.
Yep. We don't ever stop learning. And in the future, my music's just gonna hopefully get closer to the sound of Owl City.
And watching your little flowers bloom.
I agree.
Beautiful. Let's go ahead and check out Chasing the Sun. This is available now on BandLab. Coming to streaming platforms August 19th. A project with @Gramo, one of many, that talks about my recent time away from my family. In the description, it says, check out our That's a Bop BandLab contest entry, turning pain and loneliness into hope and resolve. @Gramo brought fire to this original song. We are here to create more new dream pop electronic, trending music and vibe. Let's go ahead and listen to Chasing the Sun. Yay!
We said goodbye the night before. Now it's 3 a.m. and I'm out the door with a longing glance at what's behind. In front of me is a lengthy drive. Prayerfully, we agree to
That was absolutely beautiful. I know, like she felt that when you sang that to her.
I hope so.
She too. She had to. Because when you miss somebody and love somebody that much, those words you feel. And I know she felt them because I felt them coming from you. You are amazing in expressing your emotion and putting together all of your great lyrics and words into all these awesome beats. And the
Thank you.
inspiration to go ahead and grab beats like a little bit from here and a little bit from here and a little bit from here and toss it in a blender and say, voila, here is your new breakfast with a rose.
Exactly. And so much more on the way with artists that you haven't heard me collaborate with yet. So
Woohoo! I can't wait. This is going to be so much fun. I can't wait to see what you come out with in the future. It is going to be absolutely amazing. Make sure everyone you go like, share, and subscribe to DJ Tatious. He is Tatious. And thanks again for tuning in. Make sure you check out Spotify on Friday for that release. I thank you again for tuning in here, and you all have a wonderful evening. Bye.
Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love?